8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news, edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Indrani Senanayake. Permission granted for farmers to continue their traditional cultivation activities until their problems are solved. New education reforms in the country will be implemented from March. Tuition classes resume from the 25th of this month, except for the Western Province. The U.S. Department has further banned the LTTE as a terrorist organization. News from overseas: 46 deaths confirmed in Indonesia quake. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has emphasized that permission will be given for farmers to continue their cultivation without any obstruction until their problems are solved. This decision has been taken while paying attention to the problems presented by farmer communities at the 6th program of the Gama Samaga Pilisadak. He also advised the officials of the Wildlife, Forest Conservation, Environment Police and several other institutions to not obstruct the traditional cultivation methods. He emphasized that permission has not been granted for cultivating purposes after cleaning forest areas. He also told the authorities to construct elephant fences as a permanent solution to the wildlife threat. The President has advised the relevant authorities to expedite the development projects in all schools which were closed. The 6th Gama Samaga Pilisadak program was held at the Madarigiriya Grama Niladari division today. Plans will be made to construct new houses for the people in the area. The district political authority and officials have been informed to take measures to renovate canals and reservoirs in the area in order to provide water for cultivation. The need to create opportunities for the vocational training program for students who completed the GCE advanced level studies has also been emphasized. New education reforms will be implemented from the month of March. Under this program, the existing 373 national schools will be expanded up to 2,169. It is planned to implement this program under 3 stages. Secretary to the State Ministry of Education, Dr. Upali Sedara, said that the necessary financial grants have already been allocated. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The U.S. State Department has amended its foreign terrorist organizations list, and the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, LTTE, remains to be a banned organization in it. Under the designated foreign terrorist organization list, the LTTE can be listed as an organization designated since the 10th of August 1997. It has been mentioned according to the annual review of the U.S. State Department. The announcement further stated that many terrorist organizations in many countries have been labeled and banned as terrorist organizations. The total COVID-19 cases reported in Sri Lanka reached 51,937 as 343 more persons were tested positive for the virus. Reportedly, 340 of the new cases are close contacts of the Palyagoda fish market cluster. The remaining 3 cases have been identified from the prison cluster. As per the Health Ministry's data, 44,746 of the confirmed patients have made complete recoveries from the virus. However, 6,936 active cases are still under medical care at selected hospitals and treatment centers across the country. Meanwhile, SSP Sudat Masinghe said that several officials who were deployed for the safety of the Kandy Sri Dalada Maligawa have been infected with the coronavirus. The overall COVID patients stand in the country at 52,280. Next, we take a look at the main news story.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The Ministry of Health says that the Director General of Health Services has granted approval to resume tuition classes from the 25th of January. However, this decision will not apply to the Western Province. The Director General has set guidelines as to the maximum number of students allowed per class. The ministry has said that either the maximum of 100 students or 50% of the seating capacity of the class is allowed to take part in one class at a time. That was the main news story. Next is Watchlight.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
A look at Watchlight. The residents of Pittigala complain that there are many shortcomings in the development activities of the Thalgaswala and Kalapatha-Horangala main road. The reason for this is that the contract companies have not carried out the development projects systematically. They request the Road Development Authority to look into this matter. This is for the attention of the chairman of the Road Development Authority. That came to you in Watchlight. A bulletin of world news will follow.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines. 46 deaths confirmed in Indonesia quake. Urgent aviation support plea over travel curbs in UK. NASA's mega rocket set to fire up engines in crucial test. 46 people have been confirmed dead after a 6.2 magnitude earthquake hit West Sulawesi province of Indonesia's Sulawesi Island yesterday. Authorities say at least 826 people were injured, but figures are hard to confirm due to disruptions in communications and a shortage of heavy equipment that is hindering rescue activity. Rescue workers are searching for people trapped as many buildings collapsed in the provincial capital Mamuju and Mane in the south. The UK's aviation sector urgently needs more government support if it is to survive another long period of travel curbs, industry groups say. From Monday, arrivals to the UK from all destinations will be required to quarantine in an effort to prevent the spread of any new variants of COVID. People will also have to show proof of a negative test taken in the previous 72 hours before travelling. The government said it was committed to supporting the travel industry. The 4 main engines of NASA's new mega rocket are to be fired in unison for the first time, demonstrating the launcher's raw explosive power. The Space Launch System, SLS, is part of the U.S. Space Agency's Artemis program, which aims to put Americans back on the lunar surface by 2024. The engine hot fire is the last in a series of tests known as the Green Run. It will help NASA certify the rocket for its maiden flight, scheduled to take place later this year. When it completes the flight, the SLS will become the most powerful rocket ever to have flown to space. To end this bulletin of world news, we take a look at the headlines again. 46 deaths confirmed in Indonesia quake. Urgent aviation support plea over travel curbs to UK. NASA's mega rocket set to fire up engines in crucial test. That ends this bulletin of world news. Development news is up next.
World News. to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
On to development news. The government has implemented a number of projects with the aim to increase the forest cover of Sri Lanka from 27% to 32% in order to reach the sustainable development goals of the country by the year 2030. The Sri Lanka Air Force has also come forward to assist in the reforestation efforts of the government. That was a look at development news. Next, we take a look at sports news. Lahiru Thirimana's unbeaten 76 frustrated England as Sri Lanka fought back on the third day of the first test in Galle. Bowled out for 135 in the first innings, Sri Lanka showed great spirit to reach 156 for 2, trailing by 130 after England had posted 421. Joe Root progressed to a magnificent fourth test double century before he was last man out for 229 as England lost their last 6 wickets for 49 runs. Sam Curran and Jack Leach took a wicket apiece in Sri Lanka's second innings, but off-spinner Dom Bess rarely threatened on a pitch that has offered assistance to spin since day one. Well, that was a look at sports news. Next, we take a look at business news. Direct flights have commenced between Sri Lanka and Vietnam. The objective is to promote the religious, cultural and tourism sectors between the two nations. The Vietnamese representatives point out that Sri Lanka's contribution is needed for the Viet Expo and International Tourism Expo and Promotion Program, which is to be held at the end of this year. That was business news. Economic news follows.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The Colombo Stock Exchange, CSE, said the consistent growth in the levels of activity and overall performance of the Colombo stock market over a period of 9 months and the increased levels of investor participation in the stock market offers strong reasons for investors to be optimistic. The benchmark All-Share Price Index, ASPI, has indicated a gain of 75% since falling to its lowest point in a decade on the 12th of May 2020 and presently records 7,443.23 points. That was economic news. Finally, the weather report.
Hello, Buddha. Did you land already?
No, Amma. We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
Oh, really? How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy. She might be feeling very uncomfortable. The airport must be heavily crowded because it's a season.
Amma, calm down. Everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. There's nothing to worry.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The weather report. The Met Department says several spells of showers will occur today in the northern, north central, eastern and Uva provinces and the Matale and Hambantota districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places elsewhere in the afternoon. Fairly heavy falls above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in the western and Sabaragamu provinces and in the Galle and Matara districts. That was a look at the weather report. To end tonight's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. Permission granted for farmers to continue their traditional cultivation activities until their problems are solved. New education reforms in the country will be implemented from March. Tuition classes resume from the 25th of this month, except for the Western Province. The U.S. Department has further banned the LTTE as a terrorist organization. News from overseas, 46 deaths confirmed in Indonesia quake. It ends tonight's news broadcast. Our next program, Family Choice, will take the air in a short while from now, hosted by your good friend and mine, Victor Raj, and, of course, keep the phone buzzing. And going back a little, we talk about the weather report. Remember to carry your umbrellas wherever you go.